Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 16th of May. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you the broad strands to look out for. Please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail each of the 12 zodiac signs forecasts from Aries through to Pisces. Now this week is going to reveal the people that we can relate to, the people that we can trust, the people that share our values, but also quite starkly those that don't. In fact, it's not just going to be this week. I think it's going to be over the next 6 months, even as long as a year. I think we're all being asked to think much more about what the basis of our existence is really built upon. The sign of Taurus is very much about foundations, and it's also about our core values and of course everyday money. Now the lunar eclipse, which occurs on Monday, sees the sign of Scorpio, the Scorpio lunar eclipse, perhaps letting some revelations come into the open over this next 6 months. And also because Saturn, the planet that's in the sign of humanity, of Aquarius, is T-squaring both the position of the Sun and also the Moon. I think we are seeing a big readjustment in terms of costs, our attitude to consumption, our attitude to the environment, but also those shared values or lack of them with the people that we're associating with, and especially our friends, because the sign of Aquarius is very much about friendship. But also, despite the fact that the Sun is in a rather sharp and testing right angle with Saturn this week, which is seeing us think of ways that we can be a bit thriftier, a bit more creative about how we use the money we have, there's also a very potent link between Mars and Neptune in the sign of Pisces. And that's pointing towards the potential to use our drive in a more imaginative, creative and even spiritual way, especially how we view what we have. You know, that old maxim of viewing our glass as half full rather than half empty would be one that we can all really think carefully about this week. Also, the Sun is in a terrific angle with Pluto, so transformation is still possible even though there is this big reset going on. And then in terms of more personal relating, Mercury may be in retrograde and Venus may be technically in detriment in Aries, but they're both in a very flirty angle, so some unexpected messages, proposals, invites. There could even be someone being a bit saucy, which, you know, can actually be quite a lot of fun. So there can be some levitation amongst these more serious influences. And then on Saturday, well, the Sun moves into the speedy, very nimble sign of Gemini, which is an air sign. So this is very much about things becoming more fluid, and we're flexing our intellects and we're chatting away with one another. So Mercury's retrograde is asking us to choose our words carefully, but I think it does have a very lovely link with Venus, which is delightful through these more big structural changes that are going on for us all. Now, if you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast and understand your own personal astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of your birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can give you a roadmap that you can use for the rest of your life. This will explore your qualities, but also help you to understand some of the more tricky patterns that may have repeated themselves in your life. Also, in my special package, you can also get a 12-month personal forecast. No 2 charts are the same. There's 30% off. Please see the link beneath this video. Now also, if you would like to watch my Scorpio lunar eclipse special video, the link is beneath this video. And if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be very grateful if you did. I'm nearly there at the 100,000. Please click or tap the bell notification symbol. And thank you so much for all those people who have subscribed already. Please stay with me now for your in-depth forecast. So your weekly forecast for week commencing the 16th, Capricorn, suggests that when it comes to more speculative investments or purchases or thinking how you can perhaps enjoy some treats, your ruler Saturn is just pushing back against that and asking you to scrutinize carefully any impulses you may have. But actually, despite the challenge of the eclipse, there's a lot of opportunities this week because Pluto in your sign links brilliantly to the Sun and also to the conjunction between Mars and Neptune in your sector of how you think. So your thinking can actually be quite fluid, but if there is something shaping up that you feel that you want to take from, say, the planning or the flare stage to something more substantive, by the end of the week when the Sun moves into Gemini, that will be a great chance to combine form and function to get something really working in a much more efficient way. Also, if you have been burning the midnight hour in any way recently, I think the Sun's transition into Gemini is kind of saying, is there things that you can tighten up on a little bit? Still enjoy some pleasurable evenings, but if you have been overdoing it a little bit, maybe your senses are calling out to you to just trim back somewhat. Now, of course, Venus is in your sector of the home and family. So if you are spending any money you do have on changes to your abode, decorative improvements, or something that's a bit more structural, it wouldn't really be a surprise, and there could be quite a lot of conversation going on around that. But with Mercury tracking backwards in your 6th house, anything to do with appointments could prove to be a little bit fluid at this time.